Welcome to the Big Three. I'm your host, Melody Dixon, and I'm the CEO and founder of Pro Event Planners, creating fabulous events on any budget. So today's topic is 3 ways to prepare for inclement weather at your event. That's extreme weather that's disruptive to your event. That's what inclement means. So I'm going to give you the most recent situation that happened to us. So we had a client that was doing a 40th birthday party for her sister, her older sister. And the plan was to transform the backyard into just a fab evening of adultness. The color scheme was Tiffany blue, red because her sister likes, the Christian Louboutins. I'm not a name brand person, don't judge me. But the shoes that has a red bottom. All right, so that was the theme. She likes the red bottom shoes. She likes fab. She likes zhuzh and all that other. She's a party girl. So the goal was to transform the backyard. We envisioned lights around the fence, tablescape, centerpiece with feathers and lights and all that stuff because outside is kind of dark. So we had to incorporate light in any way that we could that was aesthetically pleasing. And so ready to go. That afternoon, it was pouring. And so the plan B was to move the furniture from the living room into the garage and the bedrooms and transform the living room into the party space. And that's exactly what we did. We set up on time. We were ready, done. She was happy with everything. Gave me an awesome review. At the end of this live, I'm gonna go ahead and post a video of what we did for this client and also post her review so you guys can see that. All right, so let's jump right into the big 3 things to be mindful of when you're preparing for an event with inclement weather. And inclement weather can be a myriad of things, from being too cold, being too hot, too windy, lots of rain, snowstorm, hurricane, what else? Tornado, earthquake. All of that, as an event planner, logistically, we have to have in mind a plan as to what to do should that happen. And we keep that plan in mind when we're choosing the venue. All right. So if it's feasible, and it all depends on the client and their word is final. So I may want to use a venue that has an outdoor space. That way, if the outdoor setup can't happen, then we have a plan B. There are some clients who, look, we just need to go in park, in an open area and just do it there. And if it rains, it rains, what can you do? There are 3 things that I do anyway. The first one is to watch the weather reports. And I have the weather app on my phone. I can see, I think, like a week or 2 ahead of time. And I can get updates as we move forward towards the event date. And keeping an eye on the report and communicating with the client is one of the key things to do so that the client is not caught off guard when their outdoor event is now inside, especially if it was a bride, because she's envisioning this wedding of fabulous outdoorness and then she's inside. It's like, wah, wah, wah. You just have to communicate. All right, so the reason why we keep an eye on the weather, and then as we get closer, we get a little bit more micro so that we know what's happening at 10 a.m., what's happening at 12, what's happening at 3. That way we know the start time of the event and have a better idea of what the weather may do during that time frame. And I did this air quote situation because God controls everything. I mean, we can use the weather app all we want, get glued to channel 7 weather report, weather channel, all of it, and still when God decides the rain is to come, it'll come on whenever. But to the best of our ability, we get a little micro with the time and have a plan accordingly. And that plan may, okay, so it's passing showers at 3 o'clock. Ceremony starts at 4. Fantastic. We'll keep all the guests who arrive early inside until like 15 minutes before the ceremony is supposed to start. Then we let everybody go outside. That way, if it rains, we don't have guests who have gotten wet and we now have to scramble. So we just, as best as we can, put the ceremony stuff outside and we can dry off the seats and things like that before the guests go out there. This also allows us to be flexible with our time. If the rain that was supposed to be there at 3 is lasting an hour, then when it's done at 4:15, the team runs out there, dries off the chair and all that. And it's just what it is. It's raining, nothing that the event planner did, nothing that the venue people did. It's just what it is. So in this case, we all stay flexible with the time. All right. Number 2 is a backup plan. That means an alternate space. That way, if the event must be all outside and it's raining 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, going into 5 o'clock, you know, that's going to be in the middle of the event. So when we see on the weather report, and we look at the sky as well, we can decide before that, okay, ceremony cannot be outside because of what the weather report says and the sky looks kind of iffy. Everything goes inside on the patio, the covered patio area, or inside in another room. The backup plan can also include getting space heaters if it's going to be cold, or getting portable AC units and fans if it's going to be too hot, getting a whole bunch of umbrellas if it's going to rain sporadically and people can be going back and forth, inside, outside, depending on the rain. If it's just a little drizzle, they can manage that if they have an umbrella. All right, so it's heater, another space, portable AC unit, fans, and umbrellas. That's number 2. All that goes under a backup plan. Number 3 is communicate with the attendees. Most of the time these days, when people invite guests, they'll have maybe a Facebook page or a WhatsApp group or something where they can communicate easily to the Eventbrite, all of it. They can communicate easily to the attendees. And if it's going to rain, they can send out a post. It's going to rain, bring your umbrellas, bring, something. If it's going to be too hot, they can say dress light in light cotton or light comfortable clothing. If it's going to be too cold, bring a jacket, bring a sweater, and let them know also that as a venue or as an event or as a host for the event, we're also going to have space heaters. So the attendees know what to expect. Okay, it's going to be super cold. The event is still outside. They're giving us the heads up to bring a jacket, bring a sweater, but they'll also have space heaters. To take it even further, what some clients can do is arrange to have a a station serving hot beverages if it's cold outside, coffee station or hot chocolate station, so that people can still keep warm. Tea. If it's too hot outside, they'll have a water station that not only includes regular water, which is awesome, but also flavored water to keep it light and refreshing. Maybe some cucumber and mint, or some strawberry and basil, or some raspberry and thyme, and keep that in the water and flavor it. So there's a whole lineup, a buffet of attractive looking, refreshing goodness that the guests can avail themselves of during the event if it's too hot. What I've done for my outdoor events as well is, if depending on the length and the amount of people, I will have an EMT standing by. That's an ambulance that is there to treat people if there's heat stroke or any kind of situation where they'll need some help, some medical assistance. I also have snow cone. In Jamaica, they call it sheer ice, where they put the ice in a cone-shaped paper that's, I guess, lined with wax so it doesn't get wet and soggy. Put the scoop of sheared ice and then put flavored syrup on the top. That's going to keep people hydrated, but also give them some flavor. All right, so those are the 3 things. It's go time.